welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm your host, Nina.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Shane. And today we're looking at Botox.
Ooh, Botox.
From dangerous toxin to useful treatment.
Wow.
Wow. So, okay. First, the most important question, have you ever used Botox before?
No, I haven't. I just know people who have.
You know people who
Yes.
have, and have they said good things about it?
Yeah, they have, but it just sounds very scary. And they told me that it hurts too.
Oh, so are you afraid of pain? Is that one reason why you think well, you don't really need it yet?
Yeah, I think also
You're
because
still too young.
I feel like I still look kind of young, so it hasn't really occurred to me.
Yeah.
But I do some other things that I guess will try to keep me looking good, or
Right.
like I do face masks every now and
So
then.
you have a regiment, skin care regiment.
Yes, I do.
So you use face masks.
Yeah, sometimes I do like these massages here to kind of keep it toned. Things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. How
Do you
about
use like face creams and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
moisturizer and things like that.
Stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've never tried Botox, although maybe I might kind of need it, for forehead
I have that
wrinkles
too.
and stuff, but I'm quite a bit older than you. But no, I try to use skin moisturizers, and I'm careful to wear sunscreen on my face to prevent sun damage, and basically, for a man, I think I have a pretty good skincare regimen. I also do masks and stuff like that sometimes.
Okay, cool.
It's important to try to look youthful, especially as you age.
That's
like
true.
Me. All right, why don't we get into this lesson and see what we can learn about Botox.
Okay.
In the late 18th century, doctors in Germany noticed something strange among people who ate spoiled sausages. All of these patients had trouble moving their muscles, and some even died. Scientists later determined that a specific kind of bacteria in the sausages was causing the problem. Without oxygen, this bacterium produces botulinum toxin, named after botulus, the Latin word for sausage.
Okay, so welcome back to day 1 of Botox, from dangerous toxin to useful treatment.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about Botox.
Yeah.
We've never done it. But let's see the history of Botox.
All right.
Okay. In the late 18th century, doctors in Germany noticed something strange among people who ate spoiled sausages.
Interesting.
Okay.
So they were eating spoiled sausages, meaning that the sausages have gone bad, right?
Yep, right.
Okay.
Gross.
All of these patients had trouble moving their muscles, and some even died.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, they had
That
trouble.
sounds scary.
It does. So moving their muscles. Muscle is part of your body that helps you move. So when you go to the gym, you're usually building more muscle.
Right. You
Yes.
got muscles everywhere. You know what the strongest muscle in your body is?
Which one?
Your tongue.
Ah, interesting.
That's the strongest muscle in your body.
Oh.
Fact.
Thank you for your facts,
You're
Shane.
welcome.
So, for example, the runner's muscles were sore after the race.
Okay.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课文是关于 Botox。Botox 中文翻作保妥适，它其实是药品名称，俗称为肉毒杆菌，那是稀释纯化过的肉毒杆菌毒素。好，那么课文一开始提到说，在18世纪末，德国医生注意到吃了变质香肠的人身上出现了奇怪的情况。那所有这些患者都有肌肉活动困难的情形，有些人甚至会丧命。好，单字 muscle 就是肌肉。那这边有个重点是 have trouble 后面可以接动词 ing 或者是接 with 加名词来表达做什么有困难。trouble 在这边是不可数名词，表达困难麻烦。它也可以改用 difficulty 或者是用 problems。那注意 problems 要用复数型。举例来说 ，Jakes had trouble finding a stable job。 Jake 一直难以找到稳定的工作。Jenny is having problems with her math homework. Jenny 在写数学作业时遇到困难。那接华课文中。
Scientists later determined that a specific kind of bacteria in the sausages was causing the problem.
Okay.
So there's a bacteria in it.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
This is my bacteria. Oh.
Bacteria.
Okay, so they determined. So what does it mean to determine something? It means to figure something out or decide what to do. So like when you determine something, you think about it carefully and find the answer. So for example, you could say, he tried to determine why the plant was dying. So these patients were getting stiff muscles and to the point where some of them were even dying.
Yeah.
So they finally did determine what the cause was. It was a bacteria.
Yeah, so bacteria is tiny living things that can make you sick. Just like when you get
Bacteria.
Yeah, or like when you get a throat infection. Usually it's a bacterial infection, right?
Yeah, sure.
Some kind of wound, you don't want bacteria to get inside.
Right, because it can
Exactly.
then cause an infection.
Yes.
And that could get bad.
Yeah, so for example, washing your hands helps kill bacteria.
All right. So it might be important to note that we have bacteria and then we have viruses, right? And they work a little bit different. So like you mentioned, a lot of times you get a sore throat. That could be from a virus or could be from a bacteria. I think usually probably actually it is from a virus when you have like a common cold or something. Because when you get a bacterial infection in your throat, it's usually pretty severe. Yeah, okay. All right.
Continuing, without oxygen, this bacterium produces botulinum toxin, named after botulus, the Latin word for sausage.
Oh, interesting.
That is interesting.
Wow, so actually you're getting sausage injections.
So like a sausage gone bad or
Yeah,
it produces
the bacteria that grows in bad sausages. Oh, so that's how they named it.
Interesting. So if you're completely vegan, maybe I don't know.
I'm pretty safe.
Yeah, but there's that. But also, I wonder if vegans have this dilemma of not getting Botox because of how this bacteria is produced, right?
Yeah, well, they probably produce it like in some laboratory now without the use of sausage.
Oh, right.
I would guess.
刚刚说吃了变质香肠的人身上出现奇怪的情况，所有患者都有肌肉活动困难的情形，有些人甚至丧命。那么后来科学家确定香肠里的某一种特定细菌引发了这个问题。在没有氧气的情况下，这种细菌会产生肉毒杆菌素 （Botulinum Toxin）。那这个名称其实就是来自拉丁文的香肠。好，我们来看单字 determine。determine 动词，它表示确定、查明或者是表达找出、判定的意思。Bacteria 它表示细菌，它是 bacterium 的复数形。Nina 老师在讲解时，她有提到 bacterial infection 就是表达细菌感染。这个 bacterial 是形容词，形容细菌的 infection 则是名词，表示感染或传染病。接华课文中。
Okay, then let's take a break and find out more about this sausage bacteria.
Oh my.
Botulinum toxin is one of the most poisonous substances in the world. If eaten, it can have deadly effects. Once it spreads, this toxin blocks nerve and muscle function and can even stop a person from breathing, which results in death. In the late 1970s, doctors discovered something surprising. Botulinum toxin could be used as a medical treatment. When a tiny amount of botulinum toxin was injected into the muscles, it relaxed them and could be used to treat a condition in which a person's eyes did not line up correctly. Doctors also found that it helped reduce wrinkles. In 1989, the FDA approved botulinum toxin for medical use, and Allergan trademarked the name Botox. It later became one of the most popular beauty treatments, and doctors around the world continue to use it to make faces look smoother.
Okay, welcome back. And before the break, we learned that doctors, right? Doctors in Germany noticed something strange about people who ate spoiled sausages.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, why would you eat spoiled sausages?
Well, you might not do it on purpose, or you could be, starving and you're like, this one has
Looks
kind
okay.
of a weird smell. But you could probably still eat it.
Yeah, so some people ate it. Well, I guess a good amount of people ate it enough for the doctors to notice a common symptom from it, which was that their muscles had problem moving, or some of them even died. And they later found out it was because of a bacteria that came from these sausages.
Right, the botulinum bacteria, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Botulinum toxin is one of the most poisonous substances in the world. If eaten, it can have deadly effects.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That sounds scary.
It's poisonous. Now, when you say something is poisonous, it means something that can hurt or make you sick if you touch it, eat it, or even breathe it in. Poisonous things are dangerous and should be avoided.
At all costs.
Obviously, right? So, for example, some mushrooms are poisonous if you eat them. So don't just be going around Taiwan picking mushrooms and eating them. That's not safe.
Good thing
could be deadly.
I don't like mushrooms, so already avoiding that risk. All right, something that is deadly, it can cause death. Yeah.
Makes sense. Right.
So for example, the snake has deadly poison. Yes, snakes have deadly poison. Some other insects also have poison, right?
Yeah, a lot of them, their poison is like from their venom.
Exactly.
Right?
Like a scorpion.
Ooh, spooky. Okay.
So continuing, once it spreads, this toxin blocks nerve and muscle function and can even stop a person from breathing, which results in death. Oh, that's how it causes death.
Yeah, okay. So in the late 1970s, doctors discovered something surprising. Botulinum toxin could be used as a medical treatment.
Interesting. How?
So going from a toxin that could kill people when ingested and eaten could somehow now be used as a medical treatment. Well, a lot of things do get found out that way, don't they?
Yeah.
肉毒杆菌素是世界上最毒的物质之一，如果吃下肚可能会致命。那这种毒素一旦扩散，就会阻碍神经和肌肉的功能，甚至会让人无法呼吸，进而导致死亡。不过在1970年代末期，医生发现了一件令人惊讶的事，就是这个肉毒杆菌毒素可以用在医疗上。好，单字 poisonous 它是形容有毒的，引起中毒的。它是用名词 poison 毒药加上形容词字尾 ous 充满什么什么的所组成的。那老师刚刚这时候有提到 venom 这个字 venom venom 可以指毒液，那它的形容词就是在后面加上 ous， 那就可以形容是有毒的、分泌毒液的，念作 venomous。好，下一个单字 deadly 是形容词，表示致命的、致死的。另外文中他提到说 if eaten it can have 来表达如果吃下肚可能会怎么样。那这边我们来学习 if 加上 pp 逗号主词加动词的用法。好 if 引导条件句，主词跟主要子句主词相同，而且是被动语态的话，我们就可以把这个条件句的主词跟 be 动词省略。举例来说If damaged during shipping, your order can be replaced or refunded. 如果在运送过程中有损坏，您订购的商品可以更换或退款。好，句子里面这个 if damaged 就是由 if your order is damaged 所简化而来的哦。好，那接跑课文中。
Continuing, When a tiny amount of botulinum toxin was injected into the muscles, it relaxed them and could be used to treat a condition in which a person's eyes did not line up correctly.
Oh, I've seen that before.
Interesting. But they said to use a tiny amount. Okay, so a tiny amount of this poison sounds like it can actually do something good.
Do something good, and if it's put in the proper place, not eaten. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. Doctors also found that it helped reduce wrinkles. Now we're getting into the Botox that we know, right? In 1989, the FDA approved botulinum toxin for medical use, and Allergan trademarked the name Botox.
Interesting. So when we hear the word Botox, we're actually talking about this toxin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So to reduce means to make something smaller or less than before. When something decreases, it goes down or gets lower, right? So for example, the company wants to reduce its use of plastic.
Okay.
What's a wrinkle?
So they want to reduce wrinkles.
Yeah.
A wrinkle is a small line on skin or clothes.
So you could have wrinkled clothes.
Forehead.
Yeah, my clothes aren't too wrinkled today, but I've got some wrinkles on my forehead, maybe around my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
You know, wrinkles are very common.
Yes, they are. So for example, grandma has wrinkles on her face.
Ah, okay. Yeah, most grandmas are going to have wrinkles.
Indeed.
Yes.
So it later became one of the most popular beauty treatments, and doctors around the world continue to use it to make faces look smoother. Oh, especially if you're famous, you're going to want to look young forever, or at least as long as you can.
Right.
Right?
在1970年代末期，医生发现肉毒杆菌毒素可以用在医疗上。那么，把少量的肉毒杆菌素注射到肌肉当中时，它就会使肌肉放松，并且可以用来治疗双眼没办法正确对齐的疾病。医生还发现它会有助于减少皱纹。好，单字 reduce 这个动词表示减少、降低。Wrinkle 则是皱纹或者是皱褶、皱痕。这边还有一个重点是 line up 的用法。首先，它可以当不及物用来表达对齐或排队。例如 ，People lined up outside the concert hall before the show began。在表演开始前，人们在音乐厅外面排队。第二个 line up 可以当及物用来表达将什么排成一排。举例来说 ，The little girl lined up her dolls and pretended to be their teacher。小女孩把她的娃娃排成一排，假装自己是他们的老师。好，那么课文最后提到说，在1989年，美国食品药品管理局批准了肉毒杆菌毒素用于医疗用途。那么艾利根公司把 Botox 这个名字注册为商标，后来肉毒就成为最受欢迎的美容疗法之一了。好，文中用到 trademark 当动词来表达为什么注册商标，它也可以当名词来指商标。介绍课文中。
Okay, so it looks like this thing that, began as a killer has turned into making you look more killer, by having smoother, nicer looking skin with less wrinkles. So that's, a lot of times that does happen in science, like I mentioned before.
Yes.
Something that could be poisonous or kill you or something is then used in a new way to end up helping people.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for day one, but we still have another day ahead of us to talk more about Botox.
And we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
In the late 18th century, doctors in Germany noticed something strange among people who ate spoiled sausages. All of these patients had trouble moving their muscles, and some even died. Scientists later determined that a specific kind of bacteria in the sausages was causing the problem. Without oxygen, this bacterium produces botulinum toxin, named after botulus, the Latin word for sausage. Botulinum toxin is one of the most poisonous substances in the world. If eaten, it can have deadly effects. Once it spreads, this toxin blocks nerve and muscle function and can even stop a person from breathing, which results in death. In the late 1970s, doctors discovered something surprising. Botulinum toxin could be used as a medical treatment. When a tiny amount of botulinum toxin was injected into the muscles, it relaxed them and could be used to treat a condition in which a person's eyes did not line up correctly. Doctors also found that it helped reduce wrinkles. In 1989, the FDA approved botulinum toxin for medical use, and Allergan trademarked the name Botox. It later became one of the most popular beauty treatments, and doctors around the world continue to use it to make faces look smoother.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 muscle 是名词，表示肌肉 ；determine 动词，表示确定、查明、找出或是表达判定的意思 ；bacteria 它表示细菌，是名词。Poisonous 是形容有毒的、引起中毒的 ，reduce 动词表示减少、降低。文法的部分，我们第一个学到 have trouble 后面可以接动词 ing， 或者是接 with 加名词来表达做什么什么有困难。Trouble 也可以改用 difficulty 或者是 problems 来表示。第二个，我们学到 if 引导的条件句，它的主词跟主要子句相同的话，而且又是被动语态，我们可以把条件句的主词跟 be 动词省略，形成了 if 加 pp 逗号主词加动词的句型。第三个，我们学到 line up 的用法。那它可以当不及物用，表达对齐、排队，也可以当及物用来表达将什么排成一排。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Have you ever wanted to learn more about Hakka culture? If so, you are in luck, because the place we are going to introduce you to today is the ideal place for learning about the Hakka people.You will hear the word offspring in today's lesson, a word that means a person's child or children. So, whether or not you're an offspring of Hakka parents, you'll love Liou-Jia. First, we come to the New Tile House Hakka Cultural District. During the Qing Dynasty, many people came to Taiwan to grow crops on the land and ended up settling there.Later, they built the Zongxiao Shrine and called it New Tile House. This area became the first Hakka culture conservation zone in Taiwan. It contains ecological education parks full of rice fields and water canals. The zone also has many unique buildings. If you want to learn more about Hakka culture, you can go to the Xinhua Wu Story House and take a guided tour.Next, we come to the College of Hakka Studies at National Yangming Jiaotong University. There are several well-known buildings here. The Ling family built Wenli Hall, a 四合院, to celebrate their offspring who passed the imperial examination. This historical building is surely worth seeing. After exploring some of the history, let's take a look at the natural scenery.Dongxing Canal can be found in Shuibiantou Ecological Forest Park. Shuibiantou is a special facility. It mainly transfers water to other canals. In recent years, the government has transformed Dongxing Canal to improve the overall ecological landscape while highlighting the characteristics of this Hakka cultural asset.Today, we are only able to give you a small taste of the vastness of Hakka culture. I really recommend you take the time to visit Liou-Jia to experience the culture yourself and learn more about the Hakka people.